Hey everybody, Goat from Goat and Hog here with our first Destiny guide, and this one is going to be on the Weekly Nightfall for the Summoning Pits. Now the mods here are Angry, Light Switch, and Arc Burn, besides the usual Nightfall and Epic. Arc Burn meaning, of course, you want to be able to do as much arc damage or blue type of damage as you can, because that is going to do more damage to the enemies, and any enemy that does the arc damage to you is, of course, going to do more as well. So I'm changing out my weapons here. I have this Thunderlord. If you happen to have that, it's very nice, but I would suggest essentially a fusion rifle or sniper rifle and a light machine gun, all of arc type, to actually do damage in here. You can also do fire damage as well, because that will help take down the shields off of the wizards. Now what you're going to want to do is work your way down here to the door. Now everybody knows this. If you've been in here, you know where to find the door. I had Hog just wait outside the door there in the hallway, and that hallway is going to be your basic, that's your line of defense. That's your retreat angle. That's where you're going to be headed. Now the first wave that comes out here, it's pretty basic. It's just, you know, the first couple acolytes and thralls and things like that. Now you don't want to be out in the middle because it is light switch, which means all melee damage by the hostiles is increased. So if one of those runs up and punches you, it is going to hurt something fierce. So this is how this works. You'll see us retreating back as we're trying it out. Those exploding thralls as well, those do arc damage, so those are going to take you out, the hollowed thralls. So they'll kind of pit stop there, but that is not where it ends. You can always lead stuff back into this hallway and use it as a killing corridor, and then work your way back into this first cave if you have to keep anything from getting farther back. So a little farther down along here in the spawn, you're going to see that in this wave, we're going to start having the knights. So Hog is working on throwing grenades around on things, and I have the Thunderlord out, and I am firing away, taking the shields off of stuff right away. You can see it doesn't take much to take their shields off when you're dealing arc damage. They have arc shields, and it is arc burn, so very, very handy. You do need to be careful of the shots that they launch at you, because those are arc based as well, so it's only going to take a couple of them to knock you out. Now anytime you run into trouble, you can always come back into that hallway and do a little reloading and healing back up. If they start chasing you, run back up the top of the hallway, and actually I would fly up, because the only thing that's going to really hit you in the air is going to be the wizards, but they're usually shooting at the ground, so you can be safe with just kind of jumping and gliding your way up, or triple jumping, or whatever your class's specialty is. So here we've already cleared the first wave. We're working on the second one. We're just plugging away, taking our time, and the reason you don't want to die, of course, Nightfall, if you die, you're headed back to orbit if the whole group wipes. Now, we've gotten rid of those guys. I cut forward a little bit here, and what we're doing is we're waiting for the wizard to come down, because the wizard, you really don't want to be out in the middle. Their arc damage that they do comes down at you hard and fast, and it can easily take you out if you're not paying attention. If you happen to be a Defender Titan and you have the Suppressor Grenade, I'm told that that actually works well to use against the wizards, because that counts as an ability, that volley that you see there. It only took a couple shots and my shields were almost gone. That will actually take that ability away from them, and they can't use it for a little while. So we just kind of pick at the edges here. We're working our way through, trying to get this first wave done. You take your time, use your arc damage to your benefit. You can also use fire damage, like Hog's using a fire fusion rifle there, I mentioned earlier, to take the shields off. Arc will probably do a little better, but he didn't have a very good arc fusion rifle, so fire was the second best. So we've almost got the wizards down here, and that will end up clearing out the first wave. And again, you just want to pick at them. You just want to stay at the edges. You want to be able to retreat up that staircase. Now you can see here, Hog almost takes a beating, but he dodged all that. There went down one of them. There went down two of them. Now here, the wizards are going to be chasing us back in here, and that's why we wanted to show you. What you do is just keep working your way back. That cave is your safety. They can still hit you up in this hallway, and we've got the three of them in here now at the last part of the last wave. So this is the three major wizards during the last wave, including the boss one. And you can see they almost got me there, and Hog was hurting as well, but you can step back and hide behind this stuff, and it doesn't reset anything, but they leash back into that room. So they'll either stop at the end of the hallway, or they'll go back around the corner. All you do is just sneak up, back around the corner, pot shot at them, and take them out. So that'll get you through really what is the hardest part of the entire thing. Next up, work your way through the usual stuff. You've played the mission before, and get your way to these last two knights here. Be careful of the knights, of course. They are pretty tough. It's close confined quarters, and they got those big explosive rounds. Now is a good time to check your loadout for you having as much ammo as you can and doing long range damage. You could use the icebreaker here. Hog actually uses it. I was trying out to the fusion rifles and other things. and those different weapons. And what you want to do when you come into the room, see, this is the first room, and this is the room right outside of Fogos's chamber. That room you don't want to stay in too long. You don't want to stay in that room because it'll end up causing a Shrieker to spawn. Now you see where I'm aiming? I'm showing Hog how it works. Right there is where you're going to be looking. You're going to be looking through that little peephole there, aiming down the sight. In a second here, you'll see how it is. You only have a little bit to work with. You can stack a couple people up there, and right up there is where that Shrieker will spawn if you stand in this room too long. But if you stand back in the other room, they won't show up. So you got to go out there and shoot a couple things to get the boss to come back, to spawn, to release the chains. And then you can just stand here and pick away. And you can see the first few of my shots, it looks like they're going to hit, but they don't. So you kind of got to get a feel for what exactly is the best place to thread that needle for those shots. And as you can see, the boss's shots aren't getting to me, so or getting to Hog, so it works really well. And you're going to want to make sure you have some ammo, or as I mentioned, the Sunbreak or the Icebreaker, because it doesn't take any ammo. That allows you to just keep pegging away, and it drops their shields. And after a little bit, you'll see up the top right corner the little bit telling you that you have the 50 glimmer for killing them, and boom, you're done. Wait a couple seconds for everything to die, swing on in, pick up your loot, pick up your ammo so you can have that for the next mission. You are now done with the Nightfall, and you want to be done with that Nightfall because everything you get from here on out the rest of the week is going to be at a bonus. All of your rep, all of your gains on all your XP, and that's on all your weapons. And you see here I picked up Galahorn. Can't argue with that. And Hog picked him up exactly what he needed, an arc damage fusion rifle. So if you like this, drop us a like. You have any other suggestions, feel free to post them below. Check back later. We'll have more guides here coming for Destiny to go along with all our Diablo stuff, and we look forward to catching you on the next one.